Hi, it's Karen here. Thank you for joining me. Today I thought we would paint this little very loose abstract leaf painting. I'm painting on a different format. It's 8 by 4 because this is intended to be a bookmark. So normally they're a little bit narrower than this, but for this particular painting I wanted to make it a little bit bigger. I've just drawn out with my HB pencil the shapes. I'll put all the materials that I use in the description below, so if you need to look at that, would be great. This is what I've done. I'll just show you quickly what I mean. I'm just literally doing a leaf shape like this, and I'm overlapping. Okay, I'm going in all different directions, and then I'm just doing that. So it looks a bit jumbled, but don't be put off by that, because what we're going to do next is we're going to decide which is going to be our focal point. So I'm going to take this bit of that leaf out there, so then that looks like it's tucked under that leaf. I'm going to take this bit out here, so this then becomes my my focal point. So that's going to be my leaf there. That's going to be my leaf there, and that goes down there, and then that's going to be my leaf there, and that's going to be my leaf there, and that's going to be my leaf there. Does that make it clearer for you, so you can see? And if you wanted to, you could go off the page. That's not a problem. We like to do that, don't we? So if you know, you can use your rubber, and that will give you an idea. Does that help? And then you can see where you'll be painting in those lines there. Okay, so that's what we're going to be painting on. So this is what I've done. I'm just going to quickly just go and just draw very faintly some lines in, just to help me know where I'm going. And there you go. There we have it. Yeah. So I'll just bring that up to the camera so you can see. So that's what we're going to be painting. Hope I'm in frame. I'm going to limit the palette down. I'm going to do some really nice bluey greens, because I tend to be drawn to that just lately. Now I'm going to work straight from the pan, and I'm just going to block in and go around my leaf shapes like so. Just a little bit more water in there, just because they're nice light washes. We're just blocking this colour in at the moment. We're covering the whole of the leaf shape up, and we're just going. If you've got a little bit of white space, that's absolutely fine. We just want nice, lovely washes, because we will be glazing, going over what we've already done. So, and just go around your work. and just block that in. I'm not being ultra precious with this. I'm just moving my brush quickly around my watercolour paper, keeping my brush nice and moist, not too wet, but I want to be able to move that that paint around. Now, I don't know whether the camera's picking this up, but where I scrubbed my paper, I've broken the integrity of the paper here. I'm not worried about that. I'm really not worried about that. I've dropped in some really watery paint in there. I'm fine with that, absolutely fine with that. Okay, I'm going back up here now, and I'm just blocking in, keeping it nice and loose, not worrying, having fun with my paints, and just blocking this colour in. Okay, I think it's easier if you do limit your palette, because you'll be able to see the leaf shapes that we're putting down. Now, of course, if you can choose whatever colour combination that you would like, that's absolutely fine. If you use the red tones, and orange, that would make it quite autumnal. But I particularly like this colour at the moment. I just really, I'm drawn to it for some reason. I think sometimes we have those colours that we're drawn to, don't we? And just, okay. So you can see now our generic leaf shapes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, this is indigo blue. Now, I drew that line with my pencil, so I'm just going to do a darker colour, this indigo blue, and I'm just going to offer that in, just on one half of the leaf, and let it do its thing. Let the watercolour paint and the water react to each other. We're getting some interesting bleeds on there. That's nice, and some interesting reactions from the paint. That's good. And I'm just following that nice light wash with the indigo blue on the other side. Not worrying hugely at this stage. What we're going, that's a bit dark. Don't worry about that. That's absolutely fine. Why not? I'm just going to let my brush run out of its colour. If that bleeds into the leaf below, that's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. Let's put that one in there, just following my brush down with that pencil mark, and just moving the paint around. I think this indigo blue is a lovely colour too. It gives a really nice contrast to the green blue. I quite like that pop that it gives it. Let's put, following my line just along there, and just blocking in the colour. And last but not least, okay, I'm just gonna drop that indigo blue in. not covering it completely because I quite like that area there of the blue-green. I like that. So I'm not going to cover that up. Okay. I'm going to go in a bit darker on this side because it was a little bit washed out, but that's the beauty with when we're layering. If you start off with a looser consistency of paint, you can always glaze over, which is great. Again, just going to pop that in there like so. Okay. And then just darkening my leaves up like so. It's very therapeutic, actually, this style of painting. I quite enjoy this. Now, as you can see, we're building up our layers really nicely. Now, in between the spaces here of our leaves, you can either go very light or you can go darker. Now, I think I'm going to go for this grey colour just to map it in. I'm just going to drop it in just to see how it feels, because we can always go over in a darker colour. If you don't like it, you can always glaze over and go with a darker colour. But in watercolour, we can't go from dark to light, as we would do if we were working in acrylics or gouache. But so we work from lights to dark, and I'm just dropping this grey in straight from the pan. A few of you have been asking me what paints I use. I'm currently using the Rembrandt paints, which I just adore them. They're gorgeous. I particularly like the pigments of the paint. It just is. They're just lovely set of paints. I believe I've got this set is a 12, and I've also got a 24, but I believe you can get them from their website, Rembrandt paints. Somebody told me that you can get them from Amazon. Now, I haven't seen them on Amazon, but you know, if you're looking to buy some nice paints, it's well worth a look, to see. I don't. These were a present, so I don't know how much these were, but I do love them. So I thought I'd mention it because I've had a few of you, as I said, who've have asked me what paints I'm using. So that's they. Okay. So I'm just going round, and I'm just roughly just blocking that in. As you can see, there's been some bleeding going on from this side of the from the leaves bleeding in. I actually don't mind that. I think I'm going to maybe just drop in some darker values in. I'm not going all over. I'm just dropping in these darker values and just letting just letting the paint and the water just mix, and we're just seeing what kind of result we're getting. So that'd be good. I hope you've all had a good day, and the weather's picking up for you. We've had rain and sunshine today, but that's been nice. So that's all good. Summer's knocking at the door, isn't it? Which is always a brilliant thing. It's nice to have the light again. So I'm just dropping in the straight from the pan, just dropping in and just letting the watercolour and the paint do its thing. Okay, right, so now we have to leave that to dry, but I think I'm just going to go in and darken this up a bit. Okay, it's actually the drying time that takes the most time. I'm just catching this edge because I think I do want it to bleed. I don't really want it to be so such a rigid line, but you know, if there's a bit of white space, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm not worried about that at all. Just blocking in again. Just picked up a bit of that indigo. Not worried about that at all. Let's drop a bit more of that that blue-green in. You know, it's really freeing painting like this because we're not being precious at all. We're just putting our paint down and we're just enjoying our paints. Okay, I'm going to drop a little bit more in here. And I think I'm just going to put, that's quite dark, I don't mind that. Now if you want to, why not? Let's take this green, this blue-green, into the blue. Let's do some glazing on that side too. Let's see how it looks. I quite like glazing on top of other colours that I've used, because you get some interesting results. And you may be looking at this thinking, wow, this looks a bit blotchy, but I promise you it will dry in a really interesting way, and it will give us some nice textures to work on. The paper that here, which I was a bit enthusiastic when I was rubbing out my line, has scrubbed the paper, but it's not so bad. It's I'm okay with that. It's given us some unexpected texture, which I love. So that's great. Right, so I think this grey, I think I am going to kind of I think I'm going to warm it up a bit with the blue, just to see. I think that might be a bit too blue. What do you think? Yeah, I think that detracts. So what I'm going to do is, and if you don't like it, just take it out. And if you like that mottled effect that you get, you know, let's do it on this side, and then we'll get some interesting marks. Okay, that kind of gives like a dappled effect. I quite like that. So I'm just going to swizzle my work around. It's quite wet now, so I've got to be super careful. And I'm just going to blot that out. And again here. And again here. I'm just going to blot that one out there. I think you get a nice, I quite like this mottled effect that you get, dappled I suppose is the word I'm looking for, effect that you get with the paper towel. Okay, yeah, it just makes it more interesting, I think, when there are different elements to your painting. And yeah, I must admit, I just putting the green, putting the grey and the azura blue on a clean bit of my tissue, and I'm just blotting it off. So that's given us some interesting marks. I think I'm just going to do the same on this side, and this is a good way just to have a look, especially when we're working like this. It's very forgiving, so you haven't, if you put something down that you're not keen on, that's not a problem. I'm just going to mop that up to get that lovely mottled effect. Now that will dry lighter. I'm just going to set this one aside. Now hopefully it will dry in time for me to show you, but I've kind of done one that earlier, and I did a lighter wash on this one, but I'm just going to set my Rembrandt watercolour paints to one side, and I'm going to bring in again the lovely metallics. Now I'm going to use the classic gold. I'm going to activate my paint now, making it nice and creamy. Load your brush up. I'm using my size 4 Japanese watercolour brush. This is still a little bit tacky, but I'm going to go in and I'm just going to put this line down. Nice and creamy. Really work your brush tip in. Get that paint really moving, so you're loading your brush up, and then just take the excess off. Just take the excess off, and then just run these glorious gold lines. I'm just going to, I think I'll do it, let's do it on, yeah, it's still a little bit tacky. I'm just going to run my brush down the centre. Now, because we've split the colours up of the red and of the green and the blue, it's much easier to to run your brush down, and then again. Now, as you all know by now, I don't have the most steady of hands, but I'm not worried about that. It's and just okay, and then just work your way around. Now, it's important that you do keep your gold paint really nice and fluid. It just makes it so much easier for you to use. So again, I'm just running my brush. Okay. And just work your way around your leaves. Now you can decide whether you want to go on your green side or your blue side. Absolutely up to you. Don't worry if you can't keep your lines very straight and symmetrical. It doesn't detract from it. I think it actually adds a little bit of interest, to be honest. Again, I'm just, and let your paint run out. Okay, when you've got a really nice fluid consistency of paint, it makes it so much easier for you to get it onto the paper. Okay. Now I'm going to swizzle my work around. It's entirely up to you whether you do the whole of the leaf or or just one side like I'm doing at the moment. Have a play. You know, you can just experiment. I was thinking I might paint with the Aztec, but I thought we did that on the last tutorial, didn't we? So I thought I'd go back to the classic gold. Okay, and just run your brush. Run your brush down. I do love these. It's kind of peacocky colours, really, isn't it? I do love these. And just work my way up. Okay. You can see it's starting to come together now. And then just working your way. I'm going to just activate a little bit more keep working my my gold paint, so it's makes it easier for me to get that line down. Don't forget to just take the excess off. I'm going to swizzle that around, I think. And just, I was trying to make my mind up whether it stands out, the gold stands out better on the green or the blue, but it kind of a bit of both really, isn't it? We nearly, no, still got a few more to do, haven't I? If you've got a much smaller brush, you could get really thin marks on your painting, but I quite like them to be a little bit bigger. I'm just going to swizzle my work round. Let's put one. I don't think we've missed any, have we? Nope. I think we've got everything. Now, you can just rinse my brush out so I make sure that I've got everything. It's quite nice and sparkly. I think I will just darken this up just a smidge. I think I will just drop a little bit of this, because there's some places where it looked quite pale. So I'll just drop that in there. And just bleed that out. Okay, well there we have it. That's our sparkly leaf shapes, whichever way you think works well, that way or that way. I don't know, whatever way you like to. I think it looks okay. Yeah, making you dizzy, sorry. I think it looks okay there. This unfortunately is still not dry, but hey, you I'll finish that off and show you later how that turned out. But there we have it. That's our very loose, free, abstract leaves for a bookmarker. I hope you give it a go. It is lots of fun and nice and relaxing and not too taxing. So I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for your company as always. It's great. Take care and I'll see you again soon. Bye.